Welcome back to Solar Impulse TV, live from the Mission Control Center in Monaco. My name is Kari Lundgren, and it is a pleasure to welcome you back. We are about, Solar Impulse 2 and Bertrand Piccard are about an hour away from landing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The flight has gone very smoothly. He spent much of it on oxygen, but he is now coming down and doing his final preparations for landing. And we have live images from the hangar at Tulsa, Oklahoma International Airport, an American Airlines hangar, so we're very thankful for our hosts there for letting us share it with them. And we are going to leave you with the live stream of that and come back for the takeoff show. As I said, takeoff, it is in about an hour's time, which is a little after 10 o'clock if you are in Tulsa. And we look forward to landing there. Thanks for having us.
And we have 25 solar panels on the top of our building right now. So it was the very first commercial installation of solar in Oklahoma that sold electricity back into the grid. So understanding energy in Oklahoma, we understand energy, the significance of energy very, very well.
Better than anybody else, for sure.
And the efficiency that you stated, absolutely. You could have said it better.
Yeah. So we work for energy efficiency. We can keep this fantastic product for what it's really good at. I mean, for example, chemical industries and creating these technologies. Yeah.
How will you enter this into your logbook, this trip of yours? This is incredible. How you
You know, I logged, the longest flight I did was logged 118 hours.
Oh.
So in one go, 118 hours. So it's made a big bump in the total there.
Last summer, Andre did from Japan to Hawaii. So 5 days, 5 nights.
Yeah.
So the longest
the
flight.
first time we flew so long. In fact, I think that's the longest time we will fly.
When you see the cockpit, when you come close, when the plane comes here, you'll see the incredible will be even that much more incredible. Because think of a really bad business class seat.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And how long did it take for you to recover from this flight?
It was pretty good because when I went out of the cockpit, I was in good shape. I practiced a lot of yoga and I designed the cockpit to be able to do quite a lot of yoga posture in it. So in terms of physical stance, I think it was quite good. And then afterwards, it's also quite a lot about mindset. And if you board, and you think it's going to be long, it's really long. But I looked at it as an opportunity to go through a personal experience. And that's what it was at the end. And I thought 5 days was short for such an experience. And that's what happened. I arrived at 10 p.m. like Bertrand tonight on the island and landed at 6 o'clock the following morning. So I flew another 8 hours because it was, you certainly understand it. When you have a full moon and the beautiful Hawaiian Islands, the Pacific Ocean underneath, and you know that you are there. So the stress is gone and you can just enjoy the present moment.
That's incredible.
Very good, very good.
You're online all the time, so what is the feeling when everybody's actually watching you during the entire flight?
You forget, in fact, you don't realize, and you're in line also with the control center, and the control center is made of friends. The head of the control center is an old friend of since 40 years. So it's almost being in a family circle, and sometimes I have the impression if I would open the door of the cockpit, I would see him or I'd see them next door. And sometimes, yes, you are by yourself over this immense surface of water, so it varies. You go through very different kind of feelings.
Yeah.
But to have an airplane which has an unlimited endurance, I could have flown longer. The airplane is able to fly a month non-stop, theoretically forever. So this feeling is special for sure. Because I flew, these jets also in the Swiss Air Force. So you have to watch the needle because the needle goes down pretty quickly. You have to refuel. And with this airplane, in fact, you get rid, in fact, of this dependency. But the message, is not to make people believe that they will fly solo tomorrow. That's clear that it will take more time. But what's interesting is that we use electric propulsion, and it's so efficient. The efficiency of a motor is 97%, and the efficiency of a thermal engine of a car is about 30%. So you see how much you lose, and that's the pity because that's the part of oil we burn which is not used for our benefit as a human being. So if we can improve the efficiency, we improve our stand, our status as a human being, and preserve the reserves at the same time.
How many years would you give so that the concept becomes more commercial?
I think electric propulsion will start with the general aviation aircraft very soon. It will be less noisy, and the efficiency is so good that it's clear now that even with the current batteries you can do a lot. That was the same question with the cars. Now you see that Tesla is able to provide a solution which is very attractive. I mean, we drove the Teslas in Hawaii, in California, for a few weeks. I mean, it's a fantastic car. So these technology are coming for large aircraft. It will take for sure more time. But what you can do when you see the airplane, imagine that you don't have a pilot, that you have something which can fly 6 months in the stratosphere, doing communication work, observation, replacing what satellites, for example, are doing. That's also an incredible potential, incredible opportunity. So it will open doors. It will not replace everything for sure, but it's something new.
But do you see some of the technologies that could spin off faster to do other things?
So part of the technologies can be spin off for ground application. The message is to say if we are efficient in an airplane, we can be efficient in the way we build our homes, the way we build our cars, and the technologies are there. You don't need to wait another 20 years. So that's what we are pushing. And then the energy mix depends on the location. Of course, if you can use partly renewables is great, and keep, like I said, for me, keep the oil for what it's really good at.
Impressive. It is. It's impressive.
What will you do after the flight is over? Come back the other direction?
I hope not being too depressed, but I'm sure for the team it's going to be a big shock because you live with a high level of energy and a special kind of spirits. Or I think we'll have to realize that that's done. But there is so much to do. I mean, in terms of technology, you can continue. Like I said, make an unmanned version. More development can be done, but we can also use the project as a great inspiration. People told us that it was impossible to build such an aircraft. I mean, the aviation industry didn't believe in it. Now it's done, and there are so many situations in life where people tell you it's not possible. That I think is great to show the young generation not believe them. And there was engineers who told the Wright brothers who were demonstrating in 1903. I mean, I guess better than me, that they were demonstrating that it's impossible to fly.
Do you feel at all like you might feel like Lindbergh did when he flew across the ocean? I mean, here you've done this in much longer periods of time and have experienced, 5 days, 5 nights of flying and without stopping. He did it for about, a day and a half.
And it was a few hours or so,
Yeah, and that was incredible. But now you've done it for 117.
But Lindbergh didn't know yoga.
No, he didn't.
You didn't know?
Yoga.
Very good.
How is the second start for the team since you had to stop and take it all over again? Because his question was the motivation. How?
You got to show up. And 6 degrees of separation. Remarkable, isn't it?
see the aircraft. I mean, it's, yes, I tried to explain. The flight does not start from takeoff to landing, but it's from Abu Dhabi to Abu Dhabi, because on the ground we are very vulnerable. So if we have the chance to find something like this available in 2 days, it's a great luck. So normally what we do is either we install a tent, which we had in Phoenix, or we use an inflatable structure that we have developed ourselves. But it can resist winds up to 80, 100 kilometers an hour, but if you have a very strong thunderstorms like you have sometimes here, it could be blown away. That's the reason why we didn't plan to land here. But when we found that at the same time, I mean, the weather was good and there was a hangar, we said, okay, we'll go for it. Because the weather is not always easy, I guess, in this part of the world.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've seen
This is one of the. This is the man that was responsible for getting this hangar.
Pleasure. Yeah, pleasure.
I guess you know the
Pleasure
mayor,
meeting you. Yep.
Hi, nice to see you again. Thank you very much for working so
our
well.
Consul General.
Andreas Mark, Consul General of Switzerland.
I was explaining how lucky we are and how great
And
your team has
the
been.
Secretary of Energy and the Environment.
Nice to meet you.
How
Jason
great
was
your
from-
team. I mean, there's no words for that. I mean, you have been just incredible. Huh?
Glad we could help.
And without you spirit, the way you answered and helped us, we would not be here. And I think it was important that we could make this step. Because being delayed is being delayed in New York. Being delayed in New York means that we get to the shorter days, longer nights over the Atlantic, and that's more and more difficult. Then you get the pressure to go, and you make the wrong decision. So it's great.
Good. Glad it works out.
Andre, you need to go on television live in like a minute, so.
So I see you.
We're going to catch up afterwards on the plane.
Oui, oui. Ah, super. So I guess you know we have the airplane pass, disembark Bertrand. We'll have a couple of pictures also with you, and then a few words with the media and to the guests.
Say a few remarks as well.
So
Yeah, of course.
yes.
We'll do that in front of you. What we'd like to do just is get, say, a few official pictures quickly, but because American Airlines is waiting to put another plane in, so we have to go in first. So they've held up their plane, so we don't want to keep the we can stay as long as we want to talk to the people, but we got to get the plane in the hangar. That's cohabitation strategy.
Good strategy.
Okay, excellent. So we'll catch up with you very shortly.
See you later.
Yes.
We need
Eh?
c'est toi qui vas faire la CCTV?
Hein?
Ils veulent quoi?
Non, ils vont aller en piste les autres. Puis moi je vais me déplacer un petit peu plus là, ce sera plutôt pour le taxi puis la cérémonie. Parce que moi je suis câblé là, je peux pas aller. Je pensais revenir comme. Non, non, ouais, justement, Francis est là. Non, non. Non, il arrive comme l'avion là, non?
Landing, but it's from Abu Dhabi to Abu Dhabi because find something like this available in 2 days, it's great luck.
They've never allowed it. va remettre à l'arrière après, une fois que vous allez en l'air là-bas. Là-bas, il y a une échelle. Et là, on a mis une échelle là-bas. C'est celle qui va rééclairer l'arrière.
L'avion il va slider comme ça avec l'arrière vers nous.
Ouais. L'arrière là-bas. La hauteur de l'avant
I don't understand. The hangar is here, the people is here.
Years of intense discussions, the thoughts, brainstorming. During the last months. And that's what happened in this project. You learn, I tell you, to be really flexible. So what we had in mind is to position ourselves south of the Rocky Mountains. Phoenix, Albuquerque was a great place to be. And then wait to have good weather to fly east and hopefully also towards the north to get closer to the latitude of New York. And what we have seen was that either the weather was bad, the winds too strong from the north, but unable in fact to cross this part of the country. So we decided to restudy everything, and in the end, looking at the window we had today, Tulsa became really a preferred port of destinations, but we had no contact with the airport and of course no hangar in a place where we can have tornadoes and high thunderstorms. So in one day, I tell you, our guys contacted this airport. They said immediately yes, show the spirit of this country. In a few hours, we could be in touch with American Airlines, who have this and owns this hangar, and they agreed to share it with their operations. Not easy for them, but I mean, so grateful, because having the mobile hangar will be possible, of course. You know, our inflatable structure, but as the weather is becoming bad over the weekend, stormy potentially, we were feeling really not at ease using it at this period of the year. So really thankful to all the people who have helped us, and happy to be in this town. And interestingly, what I learned about Tulsa is that Road 66 was initiated here. You know, it goes to Chicago on one side, to the West Coast on the other side, but that's the road which crosses America. And of course, as we do this flight across this country, it's great to be where this fabulous and iconic road was initiated. We have a question, Marie.
Maybe, Andre, you can tell us a little bit about where we were last week and what happened there.
So everybody knows, I guess, that we started in Moffett. It was also unplanned. That was a hope, a dream, and in fact the weather helped. And in Moffett we had great meetings with a lot of folks from the Silicon Valley, also talking about what next, how to use our technologies for the future. One domain being unmanned airplane, an unmanned version of Solar Impulse capable to fly 6 months in the stratosphere, replacing satellites. So I'm really eager to push this technology in this direction. In Phoenix, that's the state of the sun. In fact, 360 days sun and sunny environments every year. So it's a fabulous potential, which is maybe not so much used today. So hopefully people will really see the potential of using these technologies. But what we could do was to present the project, a little bit our experience to students, graduates. It was yesterday in the University of Arizona, so that was also a special moment, seeing this young generation in front of all their potential and the possibilities they have in life. It's really special, and it creates a lot of good feelings to see their energy, I mean, towards what they can do with their life.
Somebody's wondering where we will go from Tulsa. Maybe you can explain a little bit the different weather patterns in the United States and why we're deciding to take this southern route.
So before exactly speaking about what next, that's interesting to see a little bit what happened. I mean, if you see and if you analyze the weather over the country at this period of the year, coming from the west, we have the Rocky Mountains, which we had in front of us in San Francisco. Going over them directly, for example, to Denver was difficult because in the afternoon you have these big mushrooms, these CDs, potentially these thunderstorms developing, which can be critical for the airplane. So we try to avoid it. That's reasons why we came south. Then we have a second tier of the country, which is these central plains, which are known, in fact, for to see very, very strong, sometimes weather situations like tornadoes, like heavy thunderstorms. I remember the time where we were in Texas 3 years ago, where we were hit in Dallas by real strong thunderstorms, and I tell you, happy not to have our mobile hangar, our inflatable structure at this moment erected, but something much more solid. So that's what we try to cross in one go and avoid to stay, because the airplane is at risk not only in the air, but it's at risk also on the ground. And in fact, the flight started in Abu Dhabi, will end in Abu Dhabi, and there is almost never a moment where the airplane is really, really safe. So we have to think all the time about what would happen and how to really keep the level of the risk at the lowest level. So hopefully we'll cross this part pretty soon. Almost did it, being here in Tulsa, and then we go to the second tier, the east part of the United States, and there we have to avoid and fly between fronts, maybe cold fronts, warm fronts, it depends. But I think the situation is more manageable if you look at our overall strategy. So what next? Of course, our goal is to go to JFK, New York. My dream would be to land in Dayton. That's the town where the Wright brothers developed all their ideas about building an airplane, something which was never done at the time. And I have to say I'm quite impressed after I went through their biography recently and was really impressed about the way they thought about it at the time when the other engineers were trying to prove that flying was not possible. I mean, they kept trying and they kept studying, they kept also watching nature and trying to understand how, in fact, an airplane could fly. And I'm really impressed with their perseverance and their step-by-step approach. And in some ways, you know, try to reproduce a little bit a similar spirit at Royal Impulse. So flying to Dayton, over Dayton, is going to be a fabulous moment. And then we'll position ourselves close to New York to be and have the possibility for the last leg to fly over the Statue of Liberty. We like to have this picture, we like to be there. That's also an iconic place in the United States, and I think it's a great place to start from afterwards when we cross the Atlantic. So this is the plan, but we know that the plan has to be changed all the time. So in a few days, weeks, we'll tell you more about what really will happen or has happened.
Coming back to today, Alex here live with us is wondering how the flights today went, when Bertrand will land, and also if there are particular effects on the body, on the pilot's body when he is flying for such a long period of time.
So I think the flight went well. It's for us a short flight. It's 16, 17, 18 hours. So compared to the flights of last year over the Pacific of 5 days, 5 nights, everything, you know, is relative. So for us, 18 hours is pretty short, and in fact, it's truly a question of mindset. If you believe it's long, it will be long. If you think it's short, it ends up by being really fantastic. So I think everything goes well. What I'm really happy with is to see how this technology works. I'm a little bit anxious to say that, because, you know, when you say something good, then afterwards you get some troubles coming, but nevertheless, what you can say is that solar technology is reliable and there is no moving parts, and it can last years, it can last 25 years. I mean, you have solar cells which are functioning more than 30 years and functioning with the same kind of efficiency as they had at the beginning. So this part, I mean, shows that you can rely on. Electric motors are also great because it's efficient. It's just turning, but there is no shock, there is no vibration like you have on a thermal engine. So in terms of endurance, I think it also tells that it has a great potential. And I'm happy to see that our batteries are doing very fine. You know that we overheated them, but it was our fault, in fact. We did a flight which did not correspond to what the airplane was designed for, and we went over our tolerances, but there was never a problem of the technology, so we're also happy with these batteries as well. So what pleases me really is that it shows that, I mean, these technologies are reliable, can be used and function extremely well. and we can rely on the performance that we can predict, because that's of course very important with the airplane as well.
Someone is wondering about your best memories on the flight from Nagoya to Hawaii. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
The best memory was when I heard again the other airplane on the radio frequency and also the ATC, and it was interesting because I was talking to Polynesian navigators who try in fact to navigate in the same way as Polynesian people navigated 1,000 years ago, so using nature as a source of information. And he was telling me that they could see birds when they approach an island at about 100 miles. They could see the first birds, and they could understand by watching them if they were flying towards the island or from the island, depending on what they were doing. And seeing these birds meant, of course, that there was an island close by. So for them, it was, you know, getting close to destination. And for me, listening to this radio, which I couldn't hear for 4.5 days before over the Pacific. There is nobody, there is no stations, there is nobody which speaks. Listening to this and hearing for the first time these air traffic controllers was also the meaning that I was getting close to the island. But of course, we have better technologies, so I didn't have the same level of surprise that Polynesian navigators had. But I think it made me understand how they felt at the time, and it must have been really special.
Greece here is fast-forwarding to the Atlantic flight and wondering what the biggest challenges of that flight will be.
On one side, it's interesting to see that it's difficult to say because we still are moving into the unknown, we still explore. So we try to anticipate a lot of things and we prepare for this. And in this case, we are ready. The question is, what did we miss? What did we forget? Is there something we did not understand? And this is, I would say, for me, the biggest anxiety. The weather, of course, is something important, but the flight is going to be a little bit shorter than the flight over the Pacific, so we know we can do it. I think it's going to be a question of patience, not to take the first opportunity, really waiting. That's what we see is what we want, and not being pushed by outside world, by our will, you know, to get to the destination. And it's a little bit a fight against ourselves. And I try to prepare myself in such a way that I feel as well if I leave or if I stay psychologically. So I try to have programs to build a scenario which pleases me, in fact, if I have to say so. I am quite neutral, in fact, if we decide to go or if we decide to postpone the flight over the ocean. That's exactly what I did. And the feeling I had when I was on the runway in Japan, and when we canceled the flight 5 minutes before takeoff, it was very fine for me because I'm really prepared mentally for this kind of situation. So it's a question of mindset, and a lot of things, in fact, is a question of mindset in this program.
Nicholas here is asking us what will happen after Solar Impulse 2. We know there was Solar Impulse 1 before that crossed the United States in 2013. And what next? Solar Impulse 3, Solar Impulse 4?
You know, if I would have asked my wife when she was pregnant how many babies she would have afterwards, or if she would prefer to have a girl or a boy as the next child, I think she would have told me, I mean, please let me bring, you know, my first child to the world first. And that's a bit where we are. I think in some ways, of course, we try to think what next, and we have a lot of ideas, a lot of programs. But on the other side, it's important to focus entirely, and we need to focus entirely on what we are doing. Technology can move to unmanned version. That's clear. We have programs in this direction, but I really would like to end first to think about what next, because I'm sure and Bertrand will be the same, my appreciation for new opportunities will be different after than now. And that's reasons why I would like to keep all the possibilities open, and I think that's what's great in this world. Is when you have the choice, when you are facing choices, facing possibilities, facing opportunities, that's a fabulous moment, and I really also want to get the benefit of this moment.
Okay, thanks a lot, Andre. I'll just, before we leave you, I just want to show you the hangar in Tulsa, of course. So, of course, Andre Bertrand Piccard will land very soon in Tulsa International Airport. Thank you, Andre. And I guess we'll see everybody very soon.
Thank you, Marie. All the best for everyone. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Hello, Kerry.
Good evening, Carrie.
Hello, Andre. How are you?
Yeah, great. I tell you, so happy to be here in this part of the world, and people are truly fantastic in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, on this airport. So very excited and very happy.
I saw you were speaking to the mayor of Tulsa just a little while ago.
We have to have it in the oreillette. Ouais, mais ça va pas, ça non plus.
Oh, yep.
Hello?
Give us a second, because I think we have to get organized.
Are we? Excellent. Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, brilliant.
Very well.
I saw you were speaking to the mayor earlier. Did you have a good welcome?
Yeah, great welcome. And you know, it's interesting because Tulsa is the city where Road 66 was initiated at the beginning of the century. And from Tulsa it went to Chicago, and from Tulsa it went to the west. But it's the road which everybody knows and crosses the United States. And of course, to be here when we do this flight across America is meaningful. But it's also interesting to see that Tulsa was the capital of oil, the world capital of oil at the beginning of the century. That's the way it was named. So it's a place which is extremely important in terms of energy. Of course, focus on the fossil energy, And in some ways, it's interesting to see that our airplane is built out of fossil energy. I mean, it's mostly built out of oil. We use carbon fibers, and we use polymer, we use polycarbonates, we use polyurethane. We use, of course, different plastics that we develop to replace everything which is metallic. So, so being here is symbolic in many ways.
And what's interesting, Carrie, is that we just also met the State Secretary for Energy and the Environment. And I stress the fact energy and environment because you wouldn't think that those two portfolios go together. And the way the State Secretary explained that to us, and he said, we're looking at our energy needs globally, and it's a question for us of energy efficiency. And even though we were an oil-based economy, we're expanding more into renewables. And we thought that resonated very well because we were exchanging some words about energy efficiencies and the technologies that we use on the plane. So we're discovering in a serendipitous manner that there's a lot of synergies and a lot of symbolic sharing between the state and Solar Impulse.
Well, you taught me something. I didn't know that Route 66 started there. That's great. And also all that other history. You're learning a great deal. Tell me about the hangar. It sounds like we've got a great hangar and a great setup there.
Well, first of all, we had to change our plans. I mean, we decided to change our plans. We work on this America crossing since a long time because we were here 3 years ago. The weather is special over the Rockies because there are thunderstorms. That's the reason why we went south. The weather is special over these parts, the central part of the US because of tornadoes, and also it's becoming sometimes very difficult. And people have to realize that our flight doesn't stop after landing. In fact, the flight stops until the next takeoff because the time on the ground is as critical as the time in the air. I mean, the airplane is more vulnerable in the ground than in the air. So in the way we hangar the airplane, in the way we protect it is crucial. So when we needed to find another strategy and decided that we would land in Oklahoma somewhere, first we had to find an airport. We contacted Tulsa. Immediately they responded extremely positively. I mean, it shows the spirit, which exists in the United States. It's truly fantastic. And the second things we also needed is to see how we would protect the airplane. We have a mobile hangar, but I never wanted to have this hangar on the ground in places where we can risk difficult weather situation, which is going to be the case next weekend. And Greg found American Airlines, and American Airlines has been, also so reactive. They share their hangars. They agreed to modify their operations to allow us to be part of their world. It's rare. And also in a few hours. And we don't talk about days. In a few hours. So we have so much gratitude for everyone who have helped to make it feasible. And the team was great. Greg made so many phone calls, and I asked him a few weeks ago, and I said, "Do you think we could get a new airport in 36 hours?" We got the airport, I think, in less than 12 hours, and we got the airport plus the hangar in less than 36 hours. So we beaten our records. It will be difficult to do better the next time, huh? So he has put the bar very high now for him.
Definitely sounds like a challenging exercise to repeat. But it's great to hear that the worlds of experimental aviation and the world of commercial aviation are going to be in the same hangar tonight, it sounds like. So I think from what I understand, Solar Impulse is getting close to landing. So I'm going to let you guys go because I know you've got other interviews and other things to do. So thank you very much for your time. We're looking forward to landing.
Great pleasure. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye, huh? Bye-bye.
wider shot of the hangar.
Live is fine. It'll be highly active. I've got a picture on my phone I want to show.
Want to hold here, okay?
Yeah, due to the wind from the west. Otherwise we will drift.
Okay. Yeah, we'll ask him. What I don't understand is that the GPS tells me I'm 1 nautical mile from K2, and I have absolutely no airport. There's no VOR below me, I have the city below me.
Yeah, sometimes it's very difficult to see the airport from this altitude you are coming above. It's difficult, you see no lights, maybe only the hangars.
Very strange. So it's not the beacon the beacon I saw is not the airport. Or it's another one. Hotel Bravo Sierra India Bravo, request holding. Je vous souhaite l'hôtel Cabra.
Creek 1 turn heading 17079.
This slow approach is actually having it right over the airport right now, but you can't see see it because it is very dark and there aren't many lights. However, when this thing comes in for a landing, I want you to see this picture. This is what you will be seeing, because I want to show you what it looks like. Someone out there is going to look at the night sky and say, honey, I think I just saw a UFO. There are many lights on this. It will be coming over the Tulsa area from what we have been told. It will be coming over Memorial and landing in the Midtown area as it heads towards the airport. So you will see these lights just like this. The landing time for that is 10:45.
Contact Tulsa approach on 119.1. 119.1 is here.
We will be bringing this to you. We'll be cutting into programming to show you this historic moment. If you're just joining us, this plane is strictly run on solar power. No fuel whatsoever. Just solar power and batteries charged by the sun. They told us they have come here to Tulsa to make a statement about oil, and we are expecting to hear from the pilots as soon as they deplane. This plane, just to give you an idea about the size real quick, the wingspan is the size of a 747, and it is covered in solar panels on those wings. We will bring you live updates, and we will be cutting into programming as well. Reporting live at Tulsa International Airport, covering these events on Fox 23 News.
I have to be here. This is a very unique time and a very unique event for this happening. I was able to talk to Andre, the other pilot. We had a nice long conversation, and I said, does this remind him of when Lindbergh went across from the United States to Paris? And he said, well, maybe a little bit. It reminds me of that, because here's this very unique airplane going around the world for the first time, and it's landing in Tulsa. Tulsa has a tremendous history of aviation and has had ever since its beginning. In the 1920s, this airport was first started by a group of people in the oil and gas business that wanted to have airplanes stop in Tulsa so they could sell them gasoline and oil. And we're still here. There's American Airlines, largest maintenance base in the world, non-military, right here in Tulsa. So the aviation industry is really part of our heritage. So for this airplane to be here now is a very, very, very interesting and unique experience for me as being mayor. So it's a long answer to your good question. That's why I'm here. It's fun.
So suppose it goes down like this.
The weather is perfect. We had tornadoes 5 days ago. I know. I was in my closet. Closet with my dog. Monday.
We have a little web TV that we broadcast live and stuff like that. And so these guys are in Monaco, where we have our Mission Control Center. And I was interested with the conversation you had with could we get a couple of remarks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
So, question you're prompting me, or you just want me to talk?
Just tell me who you are.
Okay, my name is Mike Teague. I'm the Secretary of Energy and Environment for the state of Oklahoma.
What you here this evening?
Well, so I live in Tulsa, and so it's an incredible event for the city. But for the state, renewable energy is important for us. I mean, we're an energy state, oil, gas, wind power, and hopefully soon solar. So it's a great opportunity.
Quite a surprise, though.
Yeah, we didn't expect it, but, the people of Oklahoma are used to helping other people when they need it. So I was glad to see everybody rally around and help you guys.
So how can you mix environment and energy? That's a strange mix for some people.
Yeah, for some people, I would say you have to mix them both. For us as a state, we do so much on the energy side. Everything we do, energy has got an environmental impact. But we care about our state, and so everything we do on the environment, it impacts the energy industry, whether it's our power generation, oil, gas, renewables, it's all connected. And so we treat it connected.
So what's the take of both the energy and the environment minister on this technology that is flying above our head now?
So I'm not an aviation expert, but the technology and how we could use that and the different aspects to other parts of what we do are tremendous. And the fact that you're proving that you can do it is incredible. Yeah? Good. Thank you.
You know, when I started the holding, I wanted to turn left because it was much more logical with the wind to turn left, but I had the clearance to turn right. That's why I drifted like hell.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks good now. Bertrand, you can increase the rate of descent to reach faster 6,000 feet. It will be also easier with wind.
Okay, well, I can pull some air brakes if you want.
Increase speed to 30 is better yet.
Okay. But you will see the plane is stable at 29. It's not very stable at 30. Quite funny. If you trim at 30, it goes above. If you trim at 29, it's stable.
So 29 is fine for us.
I can also put the landing gear down, but then I have a lot of vibration. So if I can wait a bit, it's much nicer.
I grew up in Liechtenstein. I'm a Swiss citizen, and obviously I'm proud to have seen what Switzerland is showing us here. It's a message that I love to see.
You're from Switzerland, are you?
I am, yes. I was in Zurich when the pilots came and introduced this project to us. So I work at Swiss Marine Corporate Solutions, and we're really happy to be a part of this project, and it's great that we're here to see this tonight. Thank you. It's fabulous. We're from Kansas City, so we were hoping you'd make it to Kansas City, but Oklahoma's close enough, so thank you.
You are staying up quite late tonight. Why?
I'm excited to see the solar airplane. I like solar power and other green resource-friendly stuff, and I've been studying it, and my dad helped work here and build the plane.
What do you know about the plane, and what do you think is interesting about this plane?
I know that the plane can only hold 2 people, which I find interesting but cool. I know it's weight capacity reasons, and I was talking to someone that works with this earlier, and I found out that after the plane, it was used to show that the technology would work, and they're going to start working on like small drones or like flying drones.
Are you excited to see the plane in front?
I've been excited ever since I heard that this was gonna be here.
How did you
But we'll be back. I was actually trying to take a sabbatical.
So for 25 years I was incorporated in a squadron, but would fly 6 weeks a year, so 1 week every 2 months training, and then individual days, and the rest I was at my different professional activities. So it was
perfect.
Yeah, it was a good solution.
One
It's
of
not
my-
the case anymore now, but.
There's a man here on the airport. He has he's a fixed base operator just down the way, not too far, and he has a Black Hawk helicopter.
As a private individual?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
He likes it. He enjoys it.
I'm sure. This must be really
He's
interesting.
a very wealthy individual, but
Yeah.
he really enjoys flying. He has a
He flew it in the army as well, or not
No.
even? So he learned it like this, and he does.
He used to have a Bell Jet Ranger many years ago, and that's when he learned how to fly. And then he kind of got away from helicopters, but then he bought this again, and he likes it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Almost flew the Apache helicopter in
Really?
Phoenix. Yeah. I didn't have time there, so it didn't work out there. But they have models that they got from the army, which are still operated so under the army, I guess, legislation, but it's flown by an entity to promote the preservation of the aviation, of the military aviation around the country.
I see. That's
So
good.
within this framework, yes, it would be possible to fly two-seater there. So must be an experience.
Wow, that'd be fun.
So
when you leave here, where will you fly to? Do you think?
My dream is to go to Dayton.
Okay.
And maybe fly over Dayton or land in Dayton. Will depends on the weather, but it's the place of the Wright brothers, and I'm fascinating by their stories also. At the time where people try to prove it was impossible to fly, so
That's something.
Yeah, there was engineers who were able to demonstrate that it's not possible to fly with an airplane. So
They
there are
were-
people who spend time to demonstrate it's not possible, while there are people who spend time to try to make it possible.
Exactly.
Huh? So I have to be on the second part.
Me too. Me too. Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. I read a book recently that about the Wright brothers. It was published just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah,
book.
it's a new one. Yeah, I
Brand new.
read this one. Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We talked a lot about the engine, about
Yeah.
how they invented the engineering to test.
Yeah.
It's incredible what those two men did.
And they build some kind of a wind tunnel, so
Yes,
they can
wind
test
tunnel.
different profile
Yes.
and understand, in fact, this question of lift and drag. Yeah, was spectacular.
Yeah, and then they figured out about yaw and how amazing what
Amazing,
they did.
yeah, really amazing. What's astonishing for me at the end was that they did incredible work until they could fly, until they demonstrated, and then they spent a lot of time to defend, in fact, what they build.
Yes.
And instead of trying to go further.
Yes.
And that's at least the impression I had reading this
I had the same
biography.
impression.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And I wonder why in fact they were not so motivated to continue on their path there, and as they had brilliant ideas to see in fact what would come next. So
the only thing I could think is they felt that it was their idea, and they didn't want to share it without some kind of either being paid for it or some kind of recognition that they felt that it wasn't being given to them. Other people, I think they thought were taking their idea.
they almost
and
needed also to go to France to be recognized before to be fully
Yes.
recognized in the United States.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, and then they had a wreck or two. One man died. And then one of the brothers got hurt pretty bad. And, amazing. It's a tough sport back in those days.
It was. Yeah, but can you imagine? You build an airplane, you don't know how it flies, you don't know if it flies, you don't know if you are able to fly, and you try.
Yeah.
Today we have at least some experience. I mean, we had a little bit the same questions with the aircraft because it's so different. And at the end, you don't have a basis to compare with. So a little bit the same question mark, but of course we have more knowledge today than they had in the past. So we still can simulate So I'm impressed, in fact, by this, by the people who had no idea about flying, designed a new airplane and tried it and successfully were able to fly it.
Well, the plane you're flying right now.
It'll be the same. But we have no knowledge. But it's true. It's so different with the size and the weight, wing loading solo, compared to what has been built up to now. That was our question, in fact. Did we simulate its behavior correctly? Did we miss something? Are we forgetting something? And the first flight was only half a meter above the ground, 1 kilometer distance, just to make enough measurements to see if it fitted what we had in mind there, which it did well, and then we were ready for the first flight.
What was the most surprising thing? Was it the equipment that you didn't, that might not have performed as well? The airplane itself performed fine. But like the batteries and things like that?
No, but because this you can test pretty well. No, was the flight dynamics. I mean, really the flying qualities of the airplane, how stable it was, how reactive would be the flight controls. Would the rider be enough to really control well the airplane? And do we have enough time as a test pilot to learn quickly how it flies before being in a difficult situation? So can we train enough in this? I mean, is the simulator similar enough so that you train, or when you train with the simulator, you know enough to fly the airplane? So this was a bit the question mark we had.
I see.
But it was emotional moment.
Not bad.
It was an emotional moment.
How long did it take to design from the idea until you had that first half meter off the ground? How long was that?
The idea Bertrand had it when he flew around the world with the balloon. That was 1999.
Yes.
We did a feasibility study in 2003. So at the end of 2003, so that's 13 years ago, we said, okay, that's what we want to do. But we were just the two of us, no money, no hangar, no installation, no team, no technology, nothing. So it took us 2 years to get the first partner, to get the first people on board, to start to work a little bit on what it could be.
Right.
So it was already 2005, and from 2005 we started to build up everything, and the first flight was 2009, so 4 years after. So it's pretty fast at the end, and then we flew the first airplane. In 2010 I could fly 26 hours, so the first day and night flight with the first airplane. It was 2010. By the end of 2010 we started the second airplane. So it took also another 3-4 years to build. That's the one which you will see afterwards. We started to fly it 2 years ago. I mean, last year we did the first half of the flight around the world, and the year before we did the first test flight. It was 2014. So it takes about 3-4 years, I would say, to bring from the start to until you could do the first flight of the airplane.
Can it fly on 2 or 3 engines?
It can, yeah. It's the first and only experienced airplane which is authorized to fly over populated areas. It's considered by the certification authorities to be safe enough to be able to do that. So it's redundant, so you cannot have a single failure which creates a loop. So the design, in fact, was done to be able to do this, because very often when we land here, we can fly, we can avoid the city to reach the airport.
Yes.
But in some places it's not possible because the airport is in the middle of the city. So we needed, in fact, to have this special authorization.
I see.
So there was also extra work, extra thoughts which had to be done there.
That's interesting.
But still, with the focus to make it efficient, energy efficient. Efficiency was the key there.
Are the propellers? Are they different at all than a turbine engine or a gas-powered engine? Are the propellers, do they act differently at all?
Not necessarily different, but we try to have them as efficient as possible. So, batteries, motor, propellers, all these designed to get to the the highest, to the peak effect of efficiency. So the engine or the motor has an efficiency of 97%. Then we have a gearbox, we use another 3%, we go to 94%, and then the propeller is almost 90% efficiency. So we're extremely high. It turns slowly, it's pretty big as you will see. So it is a little bit in another spectrum.
Not easy to make a tight turn, not exceeding 3 meters of that.
And maybe provide the power you need with the space which is available when efficiency is not so critical as for us. For us, it's designed around efficiency. Well, you have to look at it globally. You have to optimize each one afterwards. So that's why we have to focus on it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they also understood how it moved. I mean, the other one they thought is like a screw system, and you screw in the air, and so they understood there is lift, there is drag as well. So you have to think about aerodynamics. Yes,
Bertrand, you will stop your turn at heading 340. It will be good with wind. Yeah, we have a wind change at this altitude. Probably the wind will decrease from now.
Oh, so.
Yeah, very definitely. Very definitely.
Airplane is much lower noise level without runway than the right level.
Checked.
Live near airports.
So he's going away from
I have Raymond Claire here, our mission director, to explain. We've got a little bit of a delay. We're actually going to be landing in 45 minutes rather than 15 minutes. And Raymond is going to explain what is going on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we have here those 19 minutes. This was for the pre-planning. We gave this timing with the pre-planning timings. Now the descent, it's always quite difficult. Sometimes we are exact at 1 minute or 2 minutes, but here it's difficult because first of all we had less tailwind approaching Tulsa, and then the descent.
So we're going a little bit slower than
in ground speed approaching.
Yeah.
So now we are overhead in descent, and the air traffic controllers, they don't want to take any risk with wake turbulence of the other aircraft, so they make a quite good separation. They were briefed this morning by our team that we need those special separation.
There we have Solar Impulse, those of
you. So it's overhead the airfield. So it takes some time to go down because the maximum rate of descent is 300 feet per minute with full speed brakes. And that's also Bertrand, after 17 hours flight, we don't want to push him to make fighter pilot approach, rather take care because, after 17 hours, it's not easy to make a good landing by night, first time on this runway, on this airport. So we don't want to push him. We prefer to make it with safety. Yeah.
And maybe actually, I think our viewers might be interested. Tell me a little bit more. You were mentioning wake turbulence there. What are some of the issues for Solar Impulse when it's coming into an airport that's normally a commercial airport?
Well, it's always we have a separation, which is for the air traffic control. It's special because we request to have 2,000 feet above our aircraft separation. And the normal is 1,000 feet. So the air traffic controllers, they always need to protect us by another level. So this is also why it's a problem to fly for the air traffic controller. And yeah, we need, for example, 10 minutes between the last landing aircraft on the runway and our landing. Otherwise, you have the risk to have wake turbulence and to make a crash. So this is quite a challenge for the air traffic controller.
And maybe for our viewers who don't know what wake turbulence is, explain a little bit what that is.
Wake turbulence is the turbulences which are created by the aircraft between the extra door of the wing and the
undercarriage.
Undercarriage. So it's making a vortex at the end of the wing, and it's huge vortex, especially for heavy aircraft at takeoff or landing when they are slow. And those vortex, they can last for minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they go slightly down, they descend. And when they are on the ground, they will spread to the left and the right. So even if you have a parallel runway, those turbulences, they will come to the runway you are landing. So it's not possible for us because our aircraft is very sensible to this.
Yes.
So it's a big danger, and the air traffic controllers, they know this, and they don't want to take any risk.
And it's actually something I think you have to deal with in commercial aviation as well. You have a separation between aircraft, and you can't have a large and a small one
you know, if
too close together.
If you have a small aircraft behind a
A380
747, 2 minutes behind, you are dead.
And then in terms of what other sort of preparations are going on the ground, I know they normally have to get the lights out on the runway so that we know where to touch down.
I'm in contact with Stefan, who is my deputy for this landing. So 30 minutes before landing, he will call me. So we said now for 15:15, so in about 10 minutes he will call me, okay, we deploy on the runway. Then they will go with the catching crew on the runway. They will put the green lights for the touchdown zone because we will not land on the beginning of the runway, but almost middle of the runway to have a short taxi towards the hangar.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will not use the PAPI, which are the glide, the lights showing the pilot if you are in a 3 degrees angle.
Okay.
It's green and red, so you know if you have 2 greens, 2 red, you are exactly on 3 degrees. We cannot use it because we will land middle of the runway. But we don't use the full runway. We need only 500 meters for the rollout.
Yeah. Solar Impulse lands when it lands is quite quick.
Yeah, we have those green lights we put on the runway, and then 500 meters afterwards we have 5 red lights.
Yeah.
That's where the catching crew is. So the pilot knows. Okay, I land. I continue with some power to have the bank control until there, and at the red light I will brake, but also Niels will tell him you can brake now.
And that's Niels is our head of ground crew.
Yeah, and he's following with the car. He's following behind the aircraft.
I think that's another people our viewers may not know, but or just a reminder that there are often between 15 and 20 people on the ground around Solar Impulse when it's landing, which is quite unusual for an airplane.
Well, and for an airport.
For an airport, exactly.
Normally, it's, nobody is on the runway. So it's always also a big discussion with the airport that they understand our problematic and they accept. And it's, we go with cars, with bikes to catch the aircraft. So it's quite special.
One last question for you about the hangar. So what we will then go into the hangar? Do we have to get in? I know it's a maintenance hangar, so it's used by American Airlines.
Yeah,
so do we have to?
We need to expedite because they are waiting to have the 737 behind. Well, we will go in the back of the hangar, and then they will have the 737 coming for maintenance tonight.
Yeah.
And well, I'm sorry, but they have to wait.
A little bit for us to land.
Bit, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's...
So in our mind, we would like to expedite as much as possible, but we need to keep safety
of course.
As first priority.
But it's great to have that hangar. I think
here we see they are getting ready to go on the runway.
Yeah, everyone's prepared. Well, in that case, I should probably let you go because you probably have a call to Stefan to make.
Yeah.
And we will go back to the live stream.
I hit it with the belt. Thank you very much for connecting.
Okay. Your heading is very good, so if it goes direct in approach, then we have time in a long downwind.
Sorry for that. Normally I should make another 360, huh?
Exactly, but it's not fully clear what they want from you, or maybe you can ask them. But first we do a gear down.
No, they ask to maintain 3,500.
Silencieux, paisible, confiant dans son autonomie illimitée sur la piste de Tulsa, capitale de l'or noir de l'Oklahoma. Le monde peut vivre à des
Start to put the gear down.
À qui tu vas donner ça?
Ok.
C'est pour...
On est encore à 1000. C'est presque 1000 mètres sol, hein.
Ouais. Alors moi, je crois que je dois aller là-bas.
Yeah, Michelle is here. Okay, can we get in the car, all these guys?
Okay,
yes.
Guys, in the car, come on.
Yeah,
You guys take them on.
Yes, okay.
Ask you to go in the car, go in the car, can you always fix? Where's Marie? Marie!
Okay, gear down. Three green, down, locked.
Checked.
Ok, pour le restaurant, je remets.
You can stop turn heading 170 for a while.
So what a small world. I knew him, and I know we have mutual friends here. This Greg's brother. Cousin, yes. Small world. As they say,
Both balances off, serum.
Checked, and seat harness is on and adjusted.
Yes, that's at the shoulders.
Okay, just tell me when it's done.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra, India, Bravo.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra, India, Bravo, go ahead.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra, India, Bravo. If we start to approach for you, if we have the approach for you, how long will it take to get back around to the runway, you think?
Oh, listen here. I live just 4 miles south.
You know, it's a slow airplane, huh?
Yes, sir. Realize that. Just we were trying to work out some other arrivals we had inbound. You know how long you estimate it would take you to get back around?
Probably 1-5 minutes.
Carrying a Bravo, right?
Good evening, Brosdale 1303, 12 and a half for 10,000.
Yes, I think it's a good timing when you leave overhead to go in down. It's about 50 minutes to land.
He's going to maintain 6,000. Expect visual person like 36, right?
All right, visual 36 right. We're down to 6,000.
28 Quebec Tango, advise international type of clock 10 miles. Report sighting, Quebec Tango. All right, Quebec Tango, Roger, no delay, no descent to 2,500, and then cleared visual approach runway 26.
Ultima,
We're down fast, 2,500, and cleared visual 26.
Tango Approach, West Mountain 882, Tango Charlie with you. Requesting vector for identity of 15.
Okay, shoulders of the seatbelt are on.
Alright, 82 Tango Charlie, South Coast, Club
That's checked.
0330.
0330.
And can you recheck, please, DC1, DC2, DC3 status?
Tower, Quebec Tango.
Yeah, I have no alarm, no warning anywhere.
Hello. Welcome to Tulsa. Oh, California. Where?
That's copy from MCC, and you can switch on the cockpit battery again.
Cockpit battery on.
Alright, 82 Tango Charlie, radar contact 25 miles southwest of Riverside. And I'll be unable clearance for the approach. Maintain VFR, and they can proceed as requested.
Well, it was fun for you.
Maintain VFR,
See, now this is what you do.
And 2 Tango Charlie, Tulsa altimeter 3020, winds 260 at 3 at International.
We have numbers for
Delta 1303, it's going to maintain 3,500, turn left heading at 240.
240 to heading and down to 3,500.
And Delta 1303, runway 26 would be available to you.
Bertrand, for information, you can expect the approach in 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Say again, please.
You can expect the approach in about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Okay. Good.
Yes, tense and. Yeah, well, I. Passenger. Well, yes, they were difficult.
1303, actually, they are shutting runway 36 right down for some operations, so expect runway 26.
Alright, 26 it is, Delta 1303.
And Delta 1303, turn right heading of 340 for the descent, set to maintain 2,500.
Alright, 340 is heading down to 2,500, Delta 1303.
Digital aircraft, South Mission Foxtrot, current Tulsa altimeter 3020.
Ouais, Stéphane, tu as déjà une bière comme ça. Steph, je viens avec toi. 06. Ouais. Ah, c'est cool. Une autre bière encore. 12. Pas trop mal pour ton bras. 12 bières, Steph. 12 bières. Ouais. Alors, une demi-bière. Première lumière blanche, Steph. Donc ici Stéphane, ici on a un taxi, ouais, donc Nico et Alex. Ici en fait, ça sera le premier porte-pompier. Ouais. Thank you very much.
so just to stop down at 330.
230.
330?
Yeah, it would be good for a little bit more holding than going direct on runway.
Okay.
Everybody can come over here.
But anyway, I'm much too high to do the hurricane downwind at 3,600.
Yeah, sure.
I have to make another 360.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra India Bravo, would you like to go ahead and start your downwind? And I think get you lower once you get you south of the field, if you wanted to go ahead and start that way.
I would prefer to descend overhead. If I can descend to 2,500 now overhead, it would be perfect before starting the approach.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra India Bravo, Roger. Expect to send overhead, however, I do have one aircraft inbound to about 15 miles east, and I'll have you lower momentarily, just for now maintain 3,005.
Maintain 3,500.
15 miles out. 7 to 8 minutes.
Il a 15 nautiques d'autres avions.
Yeah, but it goes fast.
As you probably realize, that is Prince Albert of Monaco, another special visit from the Prince, who's one of the patrons of Solar Impulse. He just arrived a little while ago. It's a pleasure to have him for another landing, and I'm sure Bertrand Piccard will be very pleased.
Too much restriction, the separation. Because if I'm overhead,
I've got you muted. As soon as I get this up, we'll do.
No, I think we're fine right now because I think they're going to set up a live shot.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Who is
sir.
setting up a live shot?
We are.
Ah, you are? And then you are starting. You want him in there?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so at what time is the live shot?
As soon as we kind of see it.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
Hey, simmer down. I'm getting something. Hang on.
yeah.
Also, two Tango Charlie, airport dispatch. Two Tango Charlie, Roger. And are you going to be full stop at Riverside? Roger, full stop at Riverside. Two Tango Charlie, Roger. Later service time, let's cross blue cars. If any changes, hey, two Tango Charlie. Brief stand approved. We'll lock in the 5. And are we going to need that level 50 minutes flying over here so it's up? Two Tango Charlie, I'm sorry, say again. I know there was a 52 that left still water about the same time to Riverside. They're going to beat us. Two Tango Charlie, no, Section 152 is about 8 miles west of the city.
Yeah. Let's see.
Why is it my small backpack going?
It may take longer.
Parfait, des 30 sur les cuisses.
You have time. Landing is foreseen in a little bit more than 20 minutes.
I don't know how to take it.
So no
rush.
no rush. About 20 minutes from now.
It's a good thing it doesn't run out of gas.
Yes, I can hear you.
You bet. You will still be waiting for us.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
Gagner 2 heures. C'est plus facile pour réfléchir. On commence à se rapprocher. Parce que fait, avec 12 heures de décalage, ça va.
I've got backpack 6. Soon get to it.
C'est un peu ce genre de choses qu'il faut éviter. C'est lui qui parle français,
We just wait to get the clearance to start the approach.
Okay, we're in the same one. Do I need to
It's almost like Sure thing, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Approach, I think at 11:05, and then he will proceed like a linear airplane, like a circuit, and come in final and land.
How fast is he going? Yeah, in terms of incrementally, how many feet is he dropping at a time?
Now he's dropping very slowly because the goal is to save energy, so less than 100 feet per minute. Wow. So, so it takes hours to go down. If you want.
Right.
You can have air brakes and you can accelerate.
Right.
But the goal is to go down as slowly as possible because it's energy that you have available. Altitude is energy.
So you don't even have to really. How does he have a monitor up there to tell him how much he's conserving at a time?
Yeah, of course, yes. You have all the information, absolutely. Yeah. So you can know, also where in 1 hour, how much energy you will have consumed.
Oh, yes, Shay.
In which direction does it go? Do you have enough for the remaining part until the next sunrise? All this information is important.
We found out this was coming to Tulsa. You can see it is over the airport. They are descending right now, but it is very slow. There is only 10 horsepower, which is about 40 miles per hour. That is why some people have.
What was it like over the ocean? 5 days.
Right, it was fabulous because when you go, when I went for 5 days, I knew it was going to be a great experience, especially and so I wanted it to last really you make your own out of it, you get organized, you do everything, and it's just beautiful. And knowing that just the sun you receive gives you enough energy to continue what you do, it's unbelievable.
But your communication is in Monaco, so that's
yeah, because there is nobody else on the ocean there, so you have to go on satellites and then somewhere. If there is any coordination to be made, but normally I'm a little bit lower than airlines, and there is nobody else.
Let's check, Bertrand. So you can turn on heading 090 and set speed brakes to descent.
I do another 360 here to descend.
Okay, fine.
When the sun is very low, it can, but these are, low number of hours. But when the sun is vertical, it goes in the water. Doesn't come back. And I don't have any solar cells underneath. If I would fly over clouds, yes, then the clouds reflect quite well. Wow. But then you have to carry all the solar cells during the night as well, which is weight, and weight is energy, so you don't want to do that.
Reporting live for now, covering news.
So less than 5,000 pounds.
Excuse me? Yeah, less than 5,000 pounds. With batteries, with everything, with the pilots, with all the...
Nose down,
says outer marker runway 36 right, hold south as published.
You can switch on the landing lights.
Maintain
6,000. They are on.
Hold as published, 97 kilo.
Yeah, you can see it's calm, there's no turbulence. Right. So we would not land at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It would be too bumpy, too difficult to handle. It's very nice airplane to fly when, almost with 2 fingers when it's calm, the wind's turbulent, it's very hard. That's difficult.
And some circular, what was the delay for? Some circular, I have a solar aircraft that we're going to have the field shut down for. He's on approach now. As soon as he clears our crosswind runway, we'll have it opened up. Okay, yeah, I forgot he was coming in tonight. Airline 7 circular, actually, we're going to be using runway 26. You can expect runway 26, so you're cleared back from the Tulsa VOR now. Hold east to the VOR as published. Maintain 6,000. Maintain 6,000, direct to VOR, hold it published, 973 kilo.
When you fly 5 days, 5 nights, you have plenty of time to
figure it out.
I just got to pull the IFB out. Yes, I just have to pull the IFB out when I start
Good evening, descend to maintain 7,000, and that's cleared back from the Tulsa VOR. Right down to 7,000, they include the Tulsa VOR, Southwest 51.5.
This is on mute.
Yeah, I asked no. Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and grab.
Yes, it's something coming from the microphone. Okay, all right, I'm good now.
Okay, I'm arriving at 3,000. I leave the overhead at 2,200. 2,200. I leave the overhead to enter the downwind.
Okay, 2,200 is mid downwind. Leaving overhead would be 2,500 is fine. The ground crew is ready, and for information, the last wind 260, 1 knot.
Okay, perfect.
Keep present heading, please, because we're already a bit east of the airfield.
Flying 5 days, 5 nights, try to think which kind of cockpit we needed space-wise and how to rest. And I tried different period of time and came to the conclusion that 20 minutes resting period was a good mix. I mean, an optimum solution, taking into account that we cannot leave the airplane alone for too long, and 20 minutes is enough to recover in terms of energy.
Exactly.
You don't go into too deep sleep if you have to wake up. And what I trained during my vacation was to sleep 6 times 20 minutes every 24 hours. It came to the conclusion that I could keep my concentration and the way to operate an airplane. I mean, well enough to make it safe. But we try to find other ways to keep our energy. Bertrand is using self-hypnosis. I do a lot of meditation and yoga. So in fact, the size of the cockpit is such that I can practice some yoga position to keep the body, of course, fit, but also to keep the mind in the right, basically with the right spirit. So using both short resting periods and other techniques allow us, in fact, to stay in this environment for many days.
Maybe just say to the ATC.
5 nights from Japan to Hawaii.
Have you grasped the concept of historical moment this is, or will you grasp it once you...
I
don't think I personally do not.
Okay, we got that for us. Maybe not. What you do was that the stupid any commercial nice Delta. Back in 299 Delta negative, sir. The equator is Delta VOR. Okay, so direct to Delta VOR American 299 Delta. And again, we can take a vector somewhere out from back in for space.
Qu'est-ce qui cause les mecs, le reste, c'est absolument incroyable.
You guys up and all, there's going to be a few of you. There's going to be
You have to go once in Chicago also.
Non, mais là, ils donnent même pas des ordres. Hein. They are just talking because he's holding, so they have time to talk.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to be end of downwind, 1,550.
That's correct. The altitude is perfect now.
Once have to see if, as a pilot, you can fly for such a long time. But the goal, in fact, is to demonstrate the technologies we have in this airplane. It's all about energy efficiency. And if we can make an
I'm going to do the downwind above the street.
make our world very energy efficient. The way we build homes,
Okay.
the way we build cars, the way we build appliances. So the technologies we have in this airplane was not developed, in fact, to for the aviation industry.
Hotel India Bravo, entering downwind.
To improve the solutions we have for all of the applications that we develop on the ground. And if we use these technologies extensively everywhere, we could reduce energy consumptions by 50%. So instead of always thinking
Bertrand, can you switch off privacy?
more energy, we should think about how
Oh,
to
excuse me, of course.
we have available today.
Can you record everything?
Affirm we are recording. And last information from the ground crew, they would like you to land slightly left of satellite due to the lighting.
Are you receiving any requests for consulting from other clean
I will
energy
tell you again in
organizations as well? So what's kind of the response that you all have received kind of since you started this?
Well, what you can see today is that electric propulsion is on the roadmap of
I still have 7 knots, 8 knots of tailwind here. 6 knots.
Okay. Do you have 1187 on the second radio?
1187, yes.
Okay.
Solar ground, solar impulse, downwind, 36 right. Solar impulse of solar safety, we have going right, and everybody is ready for you. Make a
in this world. It will come, and electric propulsion can play an important role in this direction.
Thank you.
Yeah, great pleasure.
Man, I need my sleep. I always have to get like at least 6 hours. Yeah.
But that's true. We have been told that we need 6 to 8 hours.
Right. But not even that, but it's just the... Because, there's obviously nights that I don't get that much sleep, but to come in and then...
Alors, c'est complètement comment je peux bien faire. Voilà, c'est bon. Recovered.
But it's also a question of mindset, it's a question of the way you approach it,
Alors, 1550, 1550. A little bit low, I have to add some power.
And you can turn right heading 190, we are a bit far away.
If I want to go on the point that you gave me, I have to continue.
Okay.
Maybe the point is wrong, I don't know, but if I want to take it, I have to continue. A third of a mile.
Yeah, I meant the lateral distance, not the legs.
Sorry. Say again, please, Hotel India Bravo.
Bravo, Sierra India Bravo. Contact Alpha Tower 121.2.
Huh?
In 7 minutes.
Et où là?
Oui, elle était là.
Slightly moving.
Hey, I'm on a different thing now.
Il arrive comme ça.
Oui, il est au poste, il a des comme ça. Tu vois, notre vert, c'est notre ligne de il le rouge, c'est ça.
I'm here, but I'm on a different backpack. Can you hear me? I'm here? Okay. I can give you another report.
Solar Impulse 2 and Bertrand Piccard will be landing any minute now at Tulsa International Airport. Keep your eyes peeled because it happens very quickly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. That's the way to do it, huh?
Hey guys, we are here on the taxiway. I have to tell you, I've done a lot of stories out here at TIA, and this is the first time that I've been able to stand It will come just and I believe that there will be more UFOs.
You're in the,
just getting very low to the ground.
you're doing a live shot for the landing?
I don't know.
What's the plan?
But I still don't identify the runway.
Yeah, you were a bit wide away, but it's okay. You have 1 mile to go until final.
Okay, it's good. Until now, I'm completely IFR. I have no idea where is the runway.
Yeah, that's normal by night. You'll see much better the highway than the runway.
Yeah, yeah.
You have approximately 0.5 miles before coming on final. So about 2 minutes.
People are calling us and here to some of us
What I see there? Bon là il faudrait que je tourne à droite.
Yeah, you can start a smooth turn now. I will get you on final if you don't see it. No problem.
Am I live on with this now?
No, I see it. I see it, but I don't see the little light on the sea. Ah no, okay. No, I have it now.
You are exactly on the altitude. You can continue descent now.
Yeah. Okay, I have everything inside.
Super.
Tower Officer 100, just verify that we will be following the aircraft up the road. 195.
From our side, everything is done. The last point to do is to dock the engine at all.
Yes. Difficult to know where is the red light, the green light from the sea.
Yes.
Ah yes, I see that. Yeah.
Final approach.
Okay, perfect.
Take me.
Absolutely perfect. When you are appearing the runway, you don't see it, huh? Suddenly you see it when you are aligned.
Yeah.
Bertrand Piccard and Solar Impulse 2 are on their final approach, so they will be landing any minute.
How's he looking, Andre? How's he looking?
You are very slightly on the high side, but it's okay.
Well, it's calm tonight. It's a great moment to come down. Huh? Not turbulent anymore. Not windy, so it must be beautiful. It's beautiful from the ground, and I'm sure it's beautiful from the cockpit. And to land here in this part of the world,
Yeah, you are slightly on the high side.
where people have maybe a bit more time to enjoy. You can just
recover
less frenetic than in large cities where you have so many things happening that people don't have time to really see, in fact, what's going on. And the impression that people can enjoy here, I mean, that's great.
Do you enjoy these moments?
And just to remind you to
especially to be here. I mean, it's a privilege, no? Road 66, where it started.
What if we could land on Route 66?
Where was it,
Okay, I'm fine. Light is good. Should be a little bit more close to the center line and not so much offset. Okay, I'm fine. That's exactly right.
Welcome in Oklahoma. Welcome in Tulsa.
Stable.
Y'all.
Don't hear Neil.
Me also not. Aircraft secured.
Et bien voilà, on est à Tulsa.
Bravo Bertrand, well done.
Merci. C'est un chouette atterrissage. C'est très stable. C'est un tout petit peu haut, mais j'ai bien corrigé. Neil, I did not hear anything from you, the height you can break now. I hope I broke at the right moment because I heard nothing from you. Okay, it was all good. Did you try to say something? Yeah, I did recap as usual. I heard absolutely nothing. You probably didn't press on the right button.
Obviously, Neil.
Where do you park?
Bertrand, hi, this is Albert from Monaco Control Center. How are you?
Hey, Albert, what a pleasure to hear you. Great. Just wait 1 second because I have to do the engine run-up. Nils, ready for engine run-up? Hey, John, that's one you can go ahead. Okay, I go with the inboard. Je suis à toi tout de suite, Albert.
Roger that.
They work well, now full power and outboard. Okay, stop. Engine off. Beacon off. Control switch. Wait, figure it out. Full down in the pitch. full up, back to neutral. Elevators full left. Not elevator, sorry, aileron. Aileron full right, back to neutral. Rudder full left. Rudder full right, back to neutral.
And check, and you can set also transponder to off.
Yeah.
And air brakes retract.
Solar ground, go ahead. Are you done with the control suite? I'm done with the control suite, yes. Okay, so you can retract the handbrake and put the mount and okay, perfect. Retracting air brake. Okay, air brake retracted. Voilà, Albert, je suis là.
Yes, I can see that, and thank you.
I'm back with you. I just had to finish all the controls on the runway because they have to get the plane off the runway. So nice to hear you.
Yes, so how was your flight, Bertrand?
You were... The flight was very interesting, especially the first part. I was above Arizona, above New Mexico. The landscapes were fantastic, with canyons, cliffs, erosion in the hills, really beautiful colors also. And then after New Mexico, over Texas and Oklahoma, it was a little bit more conventional until Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, it was beautiful again because there was the sunset, and the sunset was making the little lakes. There were thousands of little lakes that were just shining in the sunset. It was really beautiful, extremely nice. And but it was exhausting flight because I had to wake up at 11 o'clock the previous evening, so you almost don't sleep. And I was 3/4 of the flight with oxygen, so it was exhausting. It's the first flight where I'm tired at the end, much more than from Hawaii.
But you sound very much alive and awake now. So you must have taken in a lot of good energy from this flight.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I'm so happy. I'm so happy because we are in Tulsa. We are here. That's fantastic. And Michelle is giving the hand through the window. It's so, you know, yesterday we did not know where to go. There was crosswind. We could not arrive to Kansas City. And in the morning, suddenly, there was the idea to arrive in Tulsa, and everything had to be prepared in a couple of hours, and it worked. And now we have done more than half of the across America, which is very, very good. It's very reassuring. I'm very happy because we should have a window probably next week to go almost to New York. So that's really something very, very positive.
Well, it's fantastic, Bertrand. We're very thrilled here, and I'm very happy, and I'm jealous because I've never been to Tulsa. So I've been to a lot of other cities in the U.S. I've been to every state, but never to the city of Tulsa. So I hope you enjoy your time there, and I'm happy to hear that everything looks great for on the way to New York. But Bertrand, Bertrand, I think there's your favorite weatherman is here next to me, and I think he wants to have a word with you.
Okay, with pleasure. Albert, je t'embrasse. Embrasse la famille, embrasse Charlène, Jacques et Gabriel. Et à tout bientôt.
Merci beaucoup, Bertrand. Je leur dirai. Merci.
Salut Bertrand, Luc.
Et Luc, magnifique tes prévisions, fantastique tes prévisions.
Je suis désolé, hein, je n'ai pas trouvé de turbulence, j'ai pas trouvé de cumulus, j'ai pas trouvé de tornade. J'ai une surprise pour toi, Bertrand. Tu ne vas jamais deviner qui va te parler.
Bertrand Denis. Alors, attends un instant. Oui, Nils, vas-y.
Écoute, we might have a slope going down, so maybe I ask you to give us help with braking. That's just in case we cannot stop the aircraft. That's for the next 100 meters of taxi.
Okay, so you tell me when to brake if I have to brake.
Will do, thank you.
Alors, Luc, à qui est-ce que je vais pouvoir parler? Je sais que Patrice Rosier était par là aujourd'hui, je ne sais pas s'il est encore là.
Eh bien écoute, tu es un devin incroyable, un ami commun, un grand ami commun, est à mes côtés, je te le passe.
C'est tellement amusant de te savoir au centre de Monaco. Michel est à côté de moi, il est mort de rire de savoir que tu es là. En fait, Patrice, tu es partout. Tu es tout le temps partout. Je ne sais pas comment tu fais pour te dédoubler ou alors tu voyages à la vitesse de la lumière entre deux endroits. Et c'est fantastique que tu sois là. Ça fait vraiment plaisir de te parler.
Moi aussi, embrasse bien Michel et tout le monde de ma part. Salut Bertrand, merci.
Salut Patrice, je t'embrasse. Patrice t'embrasse, Michel. Well, everybody in Monaco, thank you so much for everything. It was a long 2 days, between yesterday and today. But we made it. We're in Tulsa, and that's a really big step. More than half of America now is crossed.
Yeah, it's a great step in a good direction. Yeah, exactly. Felicitation.
Congratulations also from me.
Thank you so much to all of you.
It was a great flight.
Thank you.
Bien joué, mon cher.
Vraiment, ça a bien été. Cette fois, j'ai fait une excursion dans les banques et les side slips. J'ai bien fait.
C'est super. L'apprentissage, c'est absolument extraordinaire. Le prochain vol, c'est mercredi. Mercredi, on se rapproche de New York.
C'est génial. On fait un petit stop à Dayton?
Peut-être, mais on vise en tout cas Dayton, pit stop, Lehigh Valley, ce serait le grand prix. Je te laisse.
André rêve d'atterrir à Dayton, parce que c'est la ville des Fairlight avec son film. C'est là-bas. C'est génial si on peut faire ça.
Great. Dayton, à tout à l'heure.
Bertrand Piccard and Solar Impulse 2 safely on the ground there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A very calm and smooth flight. Everyone seems very happy here. We had the prince speaking to him earlier, and Bertrand sounded very cheerful. And with me now, I have Christoph Schlettig, who is the flight director for the second half of this flight from 2 a.m. So, Christoph, tell me how the flight went, in your opinion.
I think the flight went very well. It was a successful flight, prepared on short notice, and the last 2 to 3 hours before landing have been pretty busy for Bertrand. There was a lot of conversation with the ATC, and also the schedule for the things going on now after landing had to be rearranged. So he was talking with Andre and with Greg, the head of our Marcom team. But now he's on the ground. He's perfectly happy. as well as we are here in the MCC.
Yes, to have everything, to have made it across Tornado Alley.
Checked,
Yes,
yeah.
I know, actually, with big sigh of relief there. So tell me, he was using oxygen for quite a bit of the flight. Is that quite exhausting for the pilot, or is it,
It is. The main reason was that we had to cross the Rocky Mountains, and in the noon to afternoon you can expect some clouds building up there, towering cumulus, and of course we need to be well above. And so for that reason he was on oxygen a lot longer than he would have been, for example, during a perpetual flight over the Pacific. So he was almost twice as long on oxygen, not quite as high, but longer. And I mean, it's simply not comfortable with the helmet and the mask. This is nothing you want to do any minute longer than necessary, but today he had to do it for the long time. And
it suppresses your appetite generally and also makes you more tired, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It suppresses the appetite, exactly. If you're on oxygen very long, you don't want to eat. Once you take the mask off, you're hungry.
Yeah. I heard he was going to have a chicken curry, so I don't know if he ever ate that. Chicken curry and rice, but I'm not sure if he ever... It might have happened during Michael's shift. And Tulsa, new airport for Solar Impulse. We didn't fly here when we flew the Across America trip. What has it been like?
Compared to 2013, in 2013 we were in Dallas, so we had we knew that the crater area there is a potential stop. And last week we were trying very hard to find a weather window for the flight from Phoenix to Kansas, and it was really disappointing in the MCC because you prepare every day, you calculate, you try every trick you have up your sleeve, and in the end you realize it's not working today, not working tomorrow. And then we finally saw the possibility to go to Tulsa, and we presented this to the pilots and the team in the US, and they were able to pull off this trip to Tulsa, get the Hangar from American Airlines in, I think, less than a day.
Yeah.
And so this
new record set by Greg and the team.
He's getting better and better, yeah. Let's see if we challenge him again that year on another occasion. But this feels like a really big success because it was prepared and executed on short notice.
Yeah.
It feels really well, yeah.
Yeah, so it means that I guess we're going to rest a little bit over the weekend and enjoy some of the car racing here in Monaco.
Yes, we have the historic Formula One Grand Prix today and tomorrow, and then in 2 weeks the actual Formula One Grand Prix. And luckily enough, we know that we have a few days off as the weather over Tulsa is going to be favorable again, I think Wednesday, Thursday-ish of next week. So let's have a look at some old cars racing around Monaco. Sounds like a good afternoon.
A little bit of sporting. And actually, I'll ask you one more question on that. Is like, how challenging is it? How many simulations do you have to go through? Is it quite difficult in terms of just emotionally to sort of feel like you have a certain flight plan and then realize you have to throw it out of the window and start again?
Well, the last week, or let's say these flights over the continents, over land, are a lot more work for the MCC than a flight over the Pacific, because when you fly from Kalaeloa to the West Coast, you take off from Kalaeloa and you have 2 or 3 airports where you go, and in between you are basically free. Now, trying to leave from Phoenix, you wonder, well, what if we go to Albuquerque? That's simulation 1. What if we go to Albuquerque, pit stop, then to Kansas, simulation 2? What about Roswell? What about Amarillo? What about a direct flight? What about Tulsa? So you run like 10 different scenarios in parallel, hoping to find the one which is working, and this is really a lot of work for the Meteor team and for the simulation.
And I should let you get back to celebrating and probably to breakfast. I don't think Christoph has had much of a chance to eat anything this evening. He's been way too busy.
No chicken curry.
No chicken curry. And we've had, as I said, as we were saying, it's going to be a big sporting event in Monaco this weekend. And actually, I think in Oklahoma, it was also a big sporting evening. You had the Oklahoma City Thunder. So congratulations for your victory over the Spurs. So we are keeping in tune with what's going on in Oklahoma and in Tulsa. So we are looking forward to enjoying our stay there. So we'll let you go back to the live stream and see what's happening on the ground.
We're stopping there, but we'll see. I mean, weather will decide. That dictates, doesn't it? Mother Nature. Yes, it does. Mother Nature brought us here, so I'm very, very happy. Yeah. Mother Nature and destiny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that would be nice to
aircraft next to the Wright Flyer. Wouldn't that be quite a comparison?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You have to start somewhere. Huh?
Yeah.
We were lucky that you're between two trips, if I understand correctly.
I am. I'm headed to Houston tomorrow.
Right.
And it's an aviation conference I'm going to for airports.
Okay.
And we have David McCullough, who wrote the Wright brothers' book. He's one of our speakers at the conference.
Oh. The one who wrote the last book?
Yes.
Yeah, I read the last book.
Yeah,
that's what I read. Yeah.
So for our Monday,
Monday
main event, he's our speaker.
Yeah, I should join you there.
Yeah. No, that we're looking forward to that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was a great. The thing that I really enjoyed about that book was here in the U.S. You had the Wright brothers trying to do flight. But in France, they embraced flight.
Yeah.
They had so many people flying airplanes in the early 1900s.
It almost, but it's a limit in our, same in our country. You almost have to go abroad to be fully recognized. That's what you get as an impression from the book.
Right.
I mean, they needed this French recognition and enthusiasm when they came back. It started also a different kind of atmosphere in the United States.
It did. But the thing that also struck me was how resilient they were, the Wright brothers, that they just kept, they had so many failures.
Sure, yes. And now I kept faith, absolutely. That's, but for me that was a lot of things I learned or I could take from their stories.
Right.
And also, seeing that a lot of people were trying to demonstrate that it was not possible at the same time.
Right. There are a lot of skeptics. There are always more skeptics than believers.
And also sophisticated engines.
C'est comment de se déplacer de travers comme ça?
C'est quoi le tu devrais dire ça.
Before you start to go towards the hangar, you keep the wing active for the time being before you go towards the hangar. Vas-y en avant, Nico. Okay, we slowly start the turn counterclockwise. So, Stéphane Collet, tu avances. Emma Whisky, tu recules. Daniel, c'est bon pour toi? Oui, c'est bon.
Et l'approche on fait. Ça suffit Nils, c'est rien.
Okay, we slow down the turn. Emma Whisky, you go down a little bit. Stéphane Collet up a little bit.
Attention André, on va passer devant toi. Ouais, c'est mieux. Dans la place. Derrière, restez bien. C'est tôt ce matin, hein. Là, j'ai pourtant poussé, mais bon. Voilà. C'est bien. Avec Gabriel. Ouais. Mettez les bottes avant de sortir. Ouais, vous avez passé là, mais vous avez eu là. Ah, d'accord. Avec ces bras, l'image qui n'est pas copiée. On a de l'info sur ce 737 ? Pas encore.
Ah, c'est bon. Maintenant, il faut changer les bottes. Voilà. Et ça passe tout droit, là, comme ça. Voilà. Il faut quand même rester au milieu, parce que franchement, ça tombe un peu. Un petit peu côté qui penche dans les bottes. J'ai quand même redéfait, là. Et, ouais. Fais gaffe, on s'entend pas trop de la chose. D'accord. Attention dans l'iPad. Détacher la Schweineschwanz. J'ai détaché la Schweineschwanz. D'accord.
Good morning, Tulsa! Thank you for your welcome! Great! We're so happy to be here!
Tiens, détache-toi. Merci. Voilà, voilà.
Voilà aussi. Dégagez 2 secondes, s'il vous plaît. Space for the press. Stay, stay 1 second. Alors maintenant, j'aimerais... Ouais, 1 second. Dégage. Ok, Michel. Il est bon aussi, regarde.
C'est bon là. Je te prends ça.
Michel va monter.
Et Michel,
après nous.
Voilà.
Ouais, pardon.
C'est bon, trésor. Tu vas mettre la toule, ça.
And now the 3 people who made it happen. Gregory Blatt, Jonathan, and Stéphane. Allez, montez, 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 montez.
Viens juste tenir derrière, là. Bien, ouais, parce que c'est top ça. Montez. Tout le monde à droite au moment de gloire. Non.
Bon, Stéphane, il faudra que tu maigrisses.
Bravo.
Merci les gars, et vous êtes des chefs. D'avoir organisé ça en si peu de temps, c'est vraiment bien.
Il faudra vous amener là-bas.
Super, puis on est...
Bravo, professeur.
Merci mon colonel. Excellent.
Hey.
On embarque la plateforme.
Our Consul General in Atlanta.
Ouais, ça va, nous on se connaît déjà, ça fait plaisir de vous revoir.
De se revoir.
Excellent.
Non, déjà à Abu Dhabi.
Mais oui, absolument.
Honored Consul General here in Oklahoma.
The Secretary for Oklahoma.
Oh, sorry, Chief, that's me.
Yeah, welcome to Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Privileged to have you here.
Here's the honorary consul general.
Ah, c'est l'ancien.
And
then Jeff Mulder, the airport director, who made this all happen for us. He's a great team.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, good.
Because you saved the situation. We did not know where to find our way through America. There was too much crosswind, thunderstorm, tornadoes, and here we are with a wonderful hangar.
This is the way the weather is always in Tulsa. It's always like this.
One other thing.
We are looking for a great weekend, huh?
Jason Johnson from American Airlines.
From American Airlines. So,
We have American Airlines. Welcome to Tulsa.
Very pleased. Bertrand Piccard there after a successful flight from Phoenix, Arizona to Tulsa Airport. You saw him speaking to the mayor, to the Secretary of State, Secretary of Energy and the Environment for Oklahoma, and actually also thanking the team at the airport there, as well as the team here at Solar Impulse that made Tulsa happen. We are very grateful to be there and very looking forward to spending a few days and getting to know the city better. Before I leave you now, we're going to leave you with a reel of the best of the landing, and we will be back with you for the next flight that leaves Tulsa to who knows where. We'll tell you on the next show. Thanks for watching.
So if we have the chance to find something like this available in 2 days, it's great luck. So normally